What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday, July 1st, 2025, and this is episode 12 of the Microgalaxy Squadcast, the bi-weekly show dedicated to all things Microgalaxy Squadron. You can find us on audio podcast services and video on the Microgalaxy Squadron and Kevin's Microfleet YouTube channels. Kevin, promises made, promises kept. We are here Tuesday, 2 weeks to the day, as promised last episode. Though there was a little bit of deliberation there. Jazzwares kind of twisted our arm and had to dump news a few hours before the show. So we are definitely here tonight and excited to talk about what is probably going to be a relatively short episode, but we had to hop on and talk about some of this stuff. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Cole. How are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. It's been a couple interesting weeks in all things not Microgalaxy news. Been a very slow 2 weeks until about 4 hours ago. Right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. And then all of a sudden now we have something to talk about.
Yeah. It was like a couple of even stretching for it, a couple of retail updates, and that was about it. But that's the nature of living between two waves and the lull pre-SDCC, where hopefully we'll see some fun new things.
Yeah, I wonder what they're going to reveal. Do you think they'll actually talk about stuff that's coming here in a little bit?
TBD. And spoilers for later in the show, where I was going to say that next episode we will probably, that would be a what is that, 16th, 17th, something like that. It'd be a 14th or 15th, right?
That would be correct, the 15th.
Let's check that calendar. 15th would tentatively be our next episode. My guess is we'll probably do some fun SDCC predictions and hopes and wishes. I think that'll be a fun topic for the next episode, right before we lead into Comic-Con there.
Yeah. Now, when we had Celebration previously, was it that quick of a turnaround? It feels like Celebration was like a month ago, and now we're getting SDCC.
It does feel that way. I don't think it was that far off from normal. Okay. I believe it's typically in that April window. We just didn't have Celebration last year, to feel this. So, and I don't believe we have it next year either. I think 27 is the next one. Is that right?
Yep, that sounds right.
For the 50th of A New Hope.
Every 2 years.
Yeah, 50th for A New Hope, 2027, I think. So, yeah, it does feel like it's been a lot, but in the last month or so, just not a lot going on. But we're here.
Yeah, we are
excited to be here. But chances are this will be our quickest stream, I bet. It's lean. I will say the stream, the show notes are lean tonight, so that's fine. I've got a lot to do. I'm sure you guys do too. So we will jump into it quickly this time. No showing off toys this time, as some of you let us know in the comments last time. You're not here to see Venom and Superman and stuff like that. So
nice.
Kevin, what's been happening on retail pegs the last 2 weeks?
So not a ton. So if we're looking at Amazon first, Amazon just saw this come through recently, some T6 discounts. I mean, I've been watching Amazon quite a bit. They're all over the place with the discounting. So just keep an eye out. You do have Prime Day coming up here. I believe that is the 8th.
Yep.
Through the 10th, maybe. Something.
We'll be watching it closely. Keep your eyes on the social media feeds. I'm sure I'll be. We'll both probably be posting whatever pops up and getting steep discounts. I don't know what they would do. Right. You'd think the Ghost is a prime candidate, maybe for a Prime Day discount.
Hmm.
That would be amazing for anybody that hasn't picked up that amazing set yet.
Yeah, for sure. And then same thing with T6. I mean, T6 is going to get discounted like crazy at a number of retailers, I suspect, here within the next month or so.
Yeah. So the deal with the T6 on Amazon, yeah, I think it's been around 23, that 23.99 or around there
Hmm.
the last few weeks, but
Yep.
they've been doing targeted discount, like targeted coupons. So I don't know. I've
Gotcha.
never been able to tell if those are regional or if that's based on your order history. Are you close to a warehouse that has more than the other one? I don't know how they decide who sees the coupons, but I think they've been anywhere from like 15 to 30% off on that
Okay. Yeah.
T6. So,
And it's
you know,
it's listed at 26 bucks or
right now
something
it's
like
back
that.
up to 26.
I mean, I think isn't that what they have it listed at as their
I
like
want to say it's
normal
been
cost?
23.99 quite a bit, but
Oh, is that it is?
I
Yeah.
would I would just keep an eye on it if that's something you don't have yet and have just been waiting for a deal on it.
Hmm.
Um, just keep an eye on it, and yeah, the
Yeah. 23.99.
mhm, nailed it.
Yeah, look at you go, man. So yeah, and I would imagine we'll see a bunch of different discounts come. The Vision set, we've got some reporting on Facebook here again within the last hour or two of people being able to get that thing into the cart. I don't know if anybody's checked out with it yet, so that'll be interesting to see what
Not I.
happens with that. No, me either. I tried. I got a chance to actually change the quantity and get it to the cart, and then
Okay.
then it died on me.
No, I've never had luck with that. Not then, not now, but fingers crossed. Maybe in the future, something cool happen. I'll be living right, and it'll wind up in the cart somehow.
Yep. And that's all we've got on Amazon. So then, as we're moving on to Target, we do have the Grievous Battle Pack. Some reporting of this being discounted up to 50% off. So that's you can't really see that in the image, but that's 14 bucks. It's probably what this set is likely worth. Um, Considering I think it was 27.99 or something like that, 28 bucks when it originally dropped. Might even been higher than that actually when we first picked it up. Do you remember? So like 34?
I think it was 27.99. I think
Was
you
it?
you
Okay.
nailed it there.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's what it says on the sticker on there. But um I
I didn't
would
think it was bad at that price. I wasn't mad at it. It's a repaint of a chase that I don't have yet,
mhm,
so I'm happy to pay full price for that.
yeah.
Grievous, I have a couple of those. It's fine. Right? It's a
Mhm.
redeco of it. So 15. There's a world where this was not poorly priced. I think, and really, I haven't seen these. There's some stores here and there I go into, and they've got a few of these, but this particular exclusive, nowhere near the overstock issues that we've seen on some of these, where Target obviously just went nuts with the order as they often do on exclusives of any brand. They get wild with their exclusive orders on toys sometimes, but um, it's interesting. I don't know that I've seen a lot of reports of discounts on the Tidarium, which is a little surprising. The Tidarium, I would think they need to maybe discount and make some room for the upcoming stuff. We'll see in Series 9, but
Yeah, I would agree.
that's an amazing. I mean, if you can get that thing for 15 bucks, that's a no-brainer. And I will add that your mileage may vary because I've seen anything from 15, 20, 30, 50% off. It seems like less people are finding the 50% off,
Mhm.
but and that I believe it's not just the battle pack, right? We've seen that's on clearance.
Yeah, I think somebody
I've seen
just
reports of starfighters
yeah, Starfighters and then T6.
and the T6 on clearance there at
Yeah.
Target. So this is, a lot of their toys are on sale right now. They're obviously trying to clear out stuff
Mhm.
for into summer, but just within the Micro Galaxy world, this is typically what we see right before these new waves drop, and we should be seeing that. What did they say? August. So my guess is late July, late this month, we might start seeing some random stuff trickle into retail already. I hope that'd be fun. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, agreed.
But clear the space, get a good deal on something, and everybody wins.
That's absolutely right. So then we also have. Sorry, hold on a second here. I'm getting blown up here. Something. Just give me 2 seconds.
What's happening?
I just got a call from my security system at work saying that the
Well,
alarm
I
is
don't know if
going
you have a
off.
graphic for this, but I'll go on to say this is just totally anecdotal, but over the last, maybe week, I feel like I've seen a pretty big uptick in store reports from Walmart of people
Yes.
having success with starfighters.
Starfighters, Z95s are starting to show up. The
Yeah.
interesting thing about the Z95 showing up too is they are actually in the international packaging. So
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a little bit of both. I think the ones that we're seeing that are not with the international packaging
Are
are the ones that
newer.
are well, they're the ones being found at either Fred Meyer's or Target. So
For
the
sure,
ones at
yeah.
Walmart, I think all of the ones I've seen from Walmart are in that international
International.
packaging. Yeah.
Yeah. And worth mentioning, Fred Meyer still cis tanks being found at Fred Meyer. So if you
Yeah, it's
have
kinda
those
crazy.
stores around you, hit them up frequently and just see if you're lucky. Because I know somebody in the Facebook group found 4 of them, I think, recently. So
Yeah.
they are out there at Fred Meyer and pretty much only Fred Meyer. So, and that's
Right.
kind of a Pacific Northwest kind of chain there.
Yep.
The Kroger stores have not had them in there that I've been to. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
hopefully we get to see a decent sell through of the Series 8 Starfighter stuff. So that way when they get another order and hopefully those have some of those sys tanks in them.
Yeah, I think it's a good wave. I mean, those starfighters are cool. I finally, about a week ago, saw my first Series 8 in a Walmart store. The other
Nice.
day, I had not come across any. Still haven't come across light armor, but there was one solo. What is it? Not the V19? Is that right? Torrent.
Yep. Yep.
There was one torrent on the pegs, and I actually might pick it up. I saw it again there the other day. If nobody grabs it, I might pick it up because I opened mine a few weeks ago, and it was missing one of the. There's 2 little kind of tabs on the back of it. On the top, one of those tabs was missing from it.
Oh,
So
bummer.
I might. I've still got my Vault ones, but for the standard release, I might just swap that out for the one that's at that Walmart. And hopefully, if the pegs are cleared, they'll keep sending new stuff just in time for
agreed.
Series 9. I sure hope.
I know Series 9 is going to be a good one. I'm really excited for 9.
Listen, hey, fingers beyond crossed that some of these retailers wise up and pick up
the light armor.
Light armor for this wave.
Yeah.
They've got to.
Agreed.
Gotta pick it up.
Totally agree. And I think that hits all of the retail updates. Actually, the last thing, if we're talking just discounts, is Vault. So Vault did drop this today. So if you haven't checked your email, check your email, and you may have a code in there. Fortunately, a couple of nice people out there that weren't going to use it posted their codes up on the Facebook pages. So if you do want to take advantage of it, you don't have one, check out the page. You may be able to grab one from there.
Yeah,
but great way to be able to
pick
save.
up the Geonosian Starfighter if you haven't too.
Yeah, and
or
not only that,
multiples.
The bundles are a great way. I was looking at it. Still, I just don't know if I really want to pull the trigger on it. But the Series 6 and 7 Starfighters with 30% off are discounted to $100. It ends up being $111 with tax. And so, I mean, you're talking $10 a ship, a little less than $10 a ship.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. Yeah, a little more than $10.
Great deals to be had for sure. So
yeah.
I don't, it's hard to tell how widespread this email was. I think they're all personalized codes. It seemed like quite a few people got them. I don't know how they pick who gets codes and who doesn't, but yeah, check the
Yeah.
Facebook groups. You maybe even ask if there's something you've been eyeing and you really want to hop on it. Maybe just ask if anybody has a code that they're not using. I will be using mine on those Geonosian starfighters.
Nice. There
The
you go.
I have a hunch. This is a 1 day only code, but I have a hunch they were just targeting some people with this
Mm-hmm.
to get them in before a mad rush potentially. I would have to think surely they're still going to do a sale for the 4th of July this coming weekend.
Yeah,
Surely they did one last year, I believe. Surely they'll have a like site wide sale for everyone come Friday.
yeah. Now, the one thing that they have done, which has been not that great in the past, is that they do run a discount like this, and then the next day they run a bigger discount. So hopefully, this isn't a scenario where we're going to end up getting a bigger discount tomorrow.
Yeah.
But because we did have that happen with one of them.
That's the game you play. I don't know. I guess any discount is a good discount, but yeah, they did do that
Yeah.
one time, I believe, where they kind of up the ante a day or two later, and some people were
Yeah, not super happy about
a
it.
little
But
miffed about that. But that's how it goes. I'm appreciative of any discount we get on that stuff, but 30% seems like a great deal. So yeah, my guess, if you didn't get one, not the end of the world. Surely there's going to be something this weekend site wide. I think this was probably just a way to get, however they selected who got them. They're just trying to get people in, maybe to get an opportunity at stuff before everyone has access to it, and then some of the stuff potentially sells out.
right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that the only reason I would do it would be to get another Maroc and the Kenner X-wing.
Still
Another
don't
one
have
of
one.
those.
Yeah,
I do. Well, I do have one, but
I
it
don't.
would be nice to have like another backup just in case.
Uh huh.
Um, but gosh, I just don't know. And I don't know if I
The
can justify it.
sublines are ones that are they're kind of like prime candidates for the have one to open, have one to keep
Mm-hmm.
boxed.
Yeah.
Just because some of those look really nice grouped together, still packaged like the vintage toy line decos. But that's about all. And I guess we have to mention June. No Star Wars on the Vault Shop.
I know
No Star Wars
what a
drop. Kind of
letdown.
sad.
Yeah.
Do we think there's going to be one here for July with Comic-Con? They're going to be busy,
I
I
know
don't
they
know.
sure are.
It's going to be interesting with it so close. I don't know how that's going to play out. I sure hope there's something. My thinking would be people's eyes are locked in on a lot of these collector brands and things.
Mm-hmm.
Even casual people are kind of tuning in to see what's going on with Comic-Con, what's going on with collecting, if they kind of dabble in it. I would think it would be a good time to release something right around Comic-Con and have some kind of drop.
Mm-hmm.
I sure hope so, because I feel like it's been a minute. Those Starfighters feel like they were quite a while ago in early May.
Yeah.
The first few days of May. So
Right.
it's been quite a while.
It has been.
Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
that's about it for the vault. But the reason we're here tonight is because just a few hours ago, Jazzwares revealed, via IO9 Gizmodo,
Mm-hmm.
the Comic-Con exclusive.
Yes, they did. And here is what it is. So it is an Imperial Hangar Bay set for $100. It includes the TIE Advance, 2 TIE fighters from the Black Squadron, 3 minifigs, light up packaging to mimic the Imperial Hangar. And so these are just the couple images that they provided on that actual link. And here they are a little bit zoomed in. I tried to zoom in as much as I could. So it is the Black Squadron TIE fighters. It doesn't look like these are the ones that have the,
The
premium
the
deco or
damage,
the
right?
updated deco on it.
Mm-hmm.
The figures, though, definitely do. So the figures, it's got the silver stripe on the top of the helmet, and I think it's going to have it down the side, but you can't really tell.
Yeah.
And then Vader does look like the updated Vader, the one that comes with the um, Jedi
Interceptor.
Interceptor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's got the silver on his chest plate as well as on his shoulders.
Yeah, looks really nice. If you don't have that one,
Hmm.
this would be a good way to pick that up.
Yeah. And
Well,
then getting a chance
still
to
pretty
see it,
pricey way.
yeah, inside the box. So this is obviously just this white background, so it doesn't show the lighting, which I'll show here in just a minute. But the you can kind of see through the packaging here that on the back wall of it is um is like those columns that have the lights on the side of it. Although those
Mm-hmm.
those are not lit up, it does look like it has that deco. And then the floor of the packaging has the, you know the black whatever floor with some of the white stripes on there for being able to show like which direction they're going to fly. So it is interesting. This looks very similar to something that I have seen before, in terms of what this hangar looks like. So there is damage on the tie wing.
We'll take a look
Um,
at that. I didn't notice. We can pull those
yeah,
images back up here in a second. I didn't really.
I don't see
It
that on
looks like
there.
lighting to me in
Correct.
all of those spots there.
Yeah. And then the other picture of it. So here is what it looks like now with, I guess you want to call it like the money shot, maybe,
Sure.
um,
Yeah. I'll
where
call
they've
it that.
got it shadowed and everything. It does look to be just the generic TIE fighters, the Series 1 TIE fighters, and then the Series 1 Vader TIE. So, and then our final picture that we have here is of it lit up.
I would say
And
this is the money shot here.
yeah, this definitely looks cooler. The one thing that is a little bit disappointing about the packaging right here is it is cool. It's got the lighting, but you can see the separation of the cardboard on the inside of where the Vader window is.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to make this look like a hanger, just putting an extra piece around that to really frame it out better would have been a big thing for me. Because again, I mean, it looks like it's inside of a cardboard box that has lights in it. Um, Now, I'm sure if you're looking at it straight on from the side, then that's okay. But the other thing that I really don't like about this, Cole, and this is like, I rarely provide my opinion on these things in terms of like, oh, this is good or bad. But uh, the plastic stand that all of these things are sitting on
Mm-hmm.
looks terrible. It takes away from the entire display of the packaging, which is really cool. I mean, I think if you have, obviously, you have that floor on the background and the backing, but when you look at it from here, I mean, with the light on it, you can't even see the cockpit of the TIE fighter.
That one, yeah, it's hard. I would say that image kind of hard to judge just because I think they've probably done quite a bit of photo editing to that one
Hmm.
to have to brighten all those shadows up so that you can see the detail and everything. And with the white background and everything, this to me, this next shot is that's probably more what it's going to look like, a lot more natural. The
Yeah,
stands don't look nearly as cloudy in this
right.
image. I think this is probably a little closer to what it's just going to look like in hand. But I do think, sure, that having like a plastic stand in there for it. I mean, the problem is there isn't a plastic stand for the ties right now that would fit that. It's not like they have the ball joint ones.
Yeah.
They really
But
only
even
have that
still,
fitting for the evasive action base. But
yeah. And I'm
I
sure
see what you're
there's,
saying there. The deal is, I think this set is for inbox collectors in my mind. I think
mhm,
the selling point is the packaging. I love the lighting; it's awesome. Um, I think this is really This is pretty cool for in-box collectors. For people that are just into open, there's not a lot here for an opener. You know, you're going to
No.
lose the packaging, and it ships that 90% of the people buying a Comic-Con exclusive probably already have. So I think if you've got a lot of displays with boxed sets here and there, like the arcade machine and things like that, this is another cool one to have beside it. Now, I'll be really interested to know, speaking of the arcade machine, will this one have slightly easier access to the batteries? Because you have to really disassemble that arcade one to replace the batteries on that. It would have been a really, really nice move if they had kind of worked this one where you can access those under there somehow or on the back to be able to replace those once they go back. Because I know we're kind of hitting a point now where some of the people with the arcade machine are the batteries are going bad. So
yeah,
I've seen a couple questions just this week of people asking if there's a way to do that, which there is, but it's very involved.
Super
It's involved, not very involved, but it's involved for the average person. So hopefully this is easy. You know, as a concept, it's cool. I love the hangar idea. You know, I wish there was, in a perfect world, maybe there was a little extra deco here and there to set it apart from the others. But again, for convention exclusives that are going to be really hard to attain, I don't want it being something that is super, super hard to get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, super, super desirable that you have to have in a collection. I like when it's random stuff that it's, you know, yeah. This Israel asking about the price. This is $100 at the convention.
Yep.
So, and you know, who knows? I guess that the other question is, will this end up on Vault?
Sure.
We saw the Celebration exclusive pop up very, very, very briefly and sporadically on Amazon because they had that deal with Celebration and Amazon, and a lot of the exclusive went up there. My guess is this would end up on Vault if they're going to do it. But yeah, I think the question is, how many of these are there, and will it end up on Vault? I don't see an edition size in these images, and I don't think the original article mentioned an edition size either. Correct?
You're talking about like the number,
right? 3,500.
Yeah. No, I did not see that on there.
How many of these there are? So, you know, it'd be interesting to see if that does end up on Vault, and if it's cheaper. I mean, the Celebration exclusive was cheaper on Amazon than it was at the convention, so there's a chance it could potentially end up less. But who knows? It would be nice to. I don't know if we will get clarity on that at some point, but that's a big question in my mind: is will these show up on Vault at all?
Now, I think a lot of this too is kind of hitting on what has been talked about in the past in terms of play sets, and you know, because they can't really do play sets, this is going to be like the first try at, can we do something that's really cool packaging that gets collectors interested, that makes this like a diorama type of situation.
But it's the box.
Yeah, but it's the box, and so it's a reasonable attempt at it. I think it's a great attempt at it, to be perfectly honest. For the cost, this probably doesn't make sense, but then like you're saying, I think if you do a little something to snazz this up, so you include a damaged Vader TIE fighter or something like that to make it a little bit more interesting. But to your point, and this I think is probably the biggest question that I think all of us have, I mean, there's a lot, when I posted this, a lot of feedback of, this is a layup, and this, I can't believe that they would do this, is so lazy. But to the same degree, I can't say that I'm too hateful for it, because it's not going to be something that I'm going to be paying more than $100 for sure.
Yeah, aftermarket may not.
And I'm not going to be rushing to find somebody that's going to be there to go, hey, can you pick this up for me? This is going to be like, hey, if this ends up popping up and I'm able to get my hands on it, great. But otherwise, no.
TK said, now would you get another Falcon if it was in an Echo base box like this?
Ooh.
I rebought the Han and
That
Leia
would be-
figures in the Echo base Black Series box.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I do.
There's that hallway box. The aftermarket of that one did not do too well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely would buy that if it was an Echo base box. I'm a sucker for
Yeah.
that.
And I think they have a lot of different things that they can do with the packaging that I think can make it more exciting. In again, for a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, this is one where this is maybe the first year where I'm like, I'm okay with it. I think I'm all right with it because I don't really care whether or not I get this. I mean, I have a hangar I've already built. So
Sure, you're an elite company with a full 3D printed hangar
yeah.
and all that. But yeah, I mean, looking at it's like I'm looking at it and I see $45 worth of ships there. So that's a hefty price tag, I think, for the electrical stuff going on there. But
Yeah.
convention exclusives typically have that premium price. We've seen
Now,
that with all
the other
kinds of
thing that
things there.
we
So that's why I'm hopeful. Maybe if it shows up on Vault, we'll see just a slightly lower price on it. But who knows?
The other thing that we don't know at this point, though, is there something else? All we have is these two images and that quick little snippet. It's very possible that there is something else that's increasing the price that much. Kind of like we saw with the Vision set when we didn't even know anything about it. It was just like, oh, here's the outside of the box and here's the ship. But you didn't know, like, when you open it up, what it looks like on the inside and how cool of a presentation that is. So it's always possible that there could be something else to this that we don't know about.
Always possible.
Yeah.
And to that point, we don't know that this is it for exclusives. If you remember last year, they had the arcade set, but they also were selling the hologram
Scout class. Right. The speeder bike. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah. That's also a good point.
There could still be some other item for sale there at a different, they have the items that they sell at the booths, but then there's like a general's kind of store that has a bunch of exclusives in it as well. And they could have something else that would end up in that store that might be announced at a later time. That is also possible because there's definitely precedent for that.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm curious, just in general, how chat is weighing in on this one. Is this Kevin Cognito says, I'm excited. Love it. Very cool.
Yeah, I think
I've seen several people mention they wish these were the white ties. I've seen that pop up several times that if these were the vintage toy ties.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was a lot of the comments that I saw on the Facebook page as well. It's just kind of a combination of them between loving it, thinking this was a little lazy, the price is too high. So kind of all of that.
Joseph Bailey says a swappable Vader tie wing would be cool for the Anakin Evolution pack. That would be cool. It would also have been cool in here as well. It wouldn't make a lot of sense with the hangar, but if they had included a swappable wing, that would have been really, really cool. Just to up that, that's something you couldn't get anywhere else potentially, so it really added value to that.
Now that is a great idea. All hologram red. That would be
with
really
the
cool.
Lighting in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Some Sith vibes going on with it.
That would be really cool. Yeah, I mean, they could honestly do any of them in hologram in different colors, and that would be awesome. I would be for sure into that. Yeah, I've considered even 3D printing some stuff in some clear resin. I think it'd be cool.
TK says White Vader's tie as well.
Yep. Could certainly go that route as well.
Steve 3, it's just too big of a box, and I wouldn't want to open it. Yeah, I think that's the selling point. I doubt a lot of people are buying this to to crack open and pull those out there,
Yeah.
especially considering you can grab the trench run set on Amazon for $50 if you need these ships.
I was just getting ready to say that. That's another
Yeah.
one that it's a relatively big package, and it looks so great in the package. I just didn't want to
Mhm.
take them out. I took them out to do a review, but I put everything right back in the box because it looks so cool in the box.
Yeah, and then Vader's tie will show up again in that Anakin Evolution set. So
Yeah,
they're I think I've
getting
seen a
some
lot of
use
the
out of it.
comments about the repack thing. I don't think this would have been as big of a deal with people like that in a vacuum. I think the fact that we're kind of coming off of a season where we've had a whole lot of battle packs that have been repacks, or some slight redeco, but there's been a lot of repacks lately and some slight redeco stuff.
Yep.
I think that is contributing to a little bit of the fatigue we're seeing with
Oh
people
yeah.
on this one. Some of the ambivalence is just like, okay, another repack. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I always love when it's not something that tons and tons of collectors are going to have in their collections and they can't get it. There's just not enough of them to go around. And the lighting is really cool. I think I was sold on that shot that Jazzwares posted here with the dark background and the
Mm-hmm.
actual lighting showing up. The white background shot isn't doing a whole lot for it. This one to me right here, you're actually seeing what you're paying for with that.
Yep. Agreed.
By the way, Steve 3 over here. If you want to check out the DL44 network on YouTube, I think either Saturday or Sunday. Seems like Sundays lately, but one day and over the weekend he'll hop on DL44 network on YouTube and open a couple toys for Micro Galaxy Squadron with chat. So go check out that. Give DL44 network a follow. Ryan Dole, another Facebook group member, runs there. I believe there's some content there from Toying Around Kevin and stuff like that too. So cool little channel there that kind of aggregates some Star Wars content. But Steve's over there opening Micro Galaxy Squadron stuff over the weekends pretty frequently over there. So go check him out. Give them a follow. Good people, as they say.
Sweet.
Well,
yeah, that's
we've reached the 40-minute mark. I don't know how much more there is to say about the set.
Yep.
There chat's seen some positivity on it.
Yeah. I think overall there was some positivity. I bet you if the price was lower, if it was $60, I think way more people would be excited about it. It's probably a turnoff with the price tag.
And too, it's one of those things where we don't know what, it's possible that this arrived right in the middle at the height of the tariff stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately it got hit with, you just never know.
Yeah.
Are you paying a premium for it being just a convention exclusive? Was there some logistical stuff where it ended up, getting hit with tariffs pretty hard and now they've got to make up for that. So you never know. Times are crazy right now, but
it is interesting actually that you mentioned that. And then even going back to what you're saying about the number, I'm pretty sure, well, maybe it didn't with the other one, but I'm pretty sure that it had a sticker on. Most of these exclusive items have a sticker even on the promo photo, don't they?
mm-hmm.
Sometimes the sticker isn't always correct, but it actually does have a sticker that tells you the amount. So it is interesting to see that that's not on that packaging.
Yeah, I guess it's also possible that they took these promo photos before those stickers were ready or before those stickers were applied on there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's something we'll find out
Probably not
before the show, or we'll find out day of when people
I'm gonna
start
guess.
showing up.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be day of when that thing actually rolls out on the table and people are gonna start taking pictures.
It's possible. Yeah, I don't remember it being mentioned in the Jazzwares post either.
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
Kevin.
Cool.
Next episode, we will probably run through our predictions and hopes for Comic-Con, because we'll be pretty close at that point.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, when is it again? What date?
I believe it's the 20s, like 22nd, 20.
Okay, gotcha.
Something like
Because
that.
then you're looking pretty close. That's end of July. Then Series 9 should
We'll
be
be
rolling
dropping
out
very shortly, hopefully.
within weeks.
Yep.
So we might get a Series 10 preview. That would be sweet.
That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. But yeah, nothing hopping along the next. I don't remember any Star Wars news really popping up. I'm going to pull this banner down, but I don't remember any Star Wars news or anything like that that's been big. But I'm going to hop back here and focus. We do have a small little community spotlight before we end the episode. Every episode, we shine a spotlight on cool things going on in the MGS community, customs, videos, displays, and of course, your photography. You can send in submissions anytime on Instagram or microgalaxysquadcast@gmail.com. This week, a frequent feature in the segment, the Sky Guy Customs, Mr. Luke. I'm gonna see if I can pull this slide up here. This past week, he pulled up a little video of an X-wing in a 3D printed trench display that's kind of like a shadow box. Let's see if I can put it up here while Kevin's on the phone here. Add to stage. I did it. So you can see here, this is the finished product here of it. It looks so cool. You can hang this on a wall. And he just went in and designed and 3D printed a small shallow trench there, painted it, and then designed a little clip to hold in the X-wing. Theoretically, you could probably have a clip to hold a number of different ships in there, which would be awesome. But Kevin, is there another slide here? Am I okay to skip to another picture? I don't know how many. Here we go. Kind of a work in progress here. You can see the little clip down there on this one.
Yeah, it kind of sits in there and clips in place. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's real creative. That's my deal with him. You know, I think lots of people 3D print stuff, but he's going out there and like just consistently doing creative stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you don't already follow him, I would go find Sky Guy Customs on Instagram and just give him a follow. I know he sells some stuff as well. You can buy some of these things that he designs, but just consistently creative stuff that's just really cool. Now I'll be interested to see if he does new clips where you could put a TIE fighter in there, or Vader's tie would be really cool.
Yeah.
But I might have to get one of these because it's just a really awesome way to be able to display. This would look cool in an office too. Just set that up on your desk.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I actually think he should take this idea, this little shadow box idea, and do different dios for it, where you could put different ships in there. Do a little sandy dune kind of thing, a little dune ravine, and put the skiff in there.
Dude, that would be awesome.
You
could definitely do it.
Dagobah X-wing, by the
sure.
way, but a swamp with the Dagobah X-wing hovering over it would be really cool as well.
Yep. And you should be able to do textures with 3D printing as well, so you can make it look like sand, even though it's not actually sand, and put a skiff on there. That'd be really cool. Couple skiffs. But no, he's got some great stuff on there. Yeah, you can get either the actual physical product itself, and he does sell some of the files also. So if you are a 3D printer,
cool,
you could be able to pick those up and print them yourselves.
Lots of praise in chat.
Yeah, he's awesome. I still haven't picked up. I'm like super close to getting one of those little cases, like the Vader head or the C-3PO
the figure
head.
cases.
Yeah, because I have the Vader one from like the 90s, the Power of the Force one. So,
yeah, TK mentions you could have a whole coffee table top like that with a glass top. I've actually been looking for one of those forever for they're very expensive in my
They
experience.
are.
But I've
Yeah.
been trying to find one to put the vintage collection, the big Millennium Falcon at
Okay. Yep.
Galaxy's Edge when they released,
Yeah.
down in a table like that, and just have the Falcon sitting in a table. Now that I have the Ghost would also be really cool in one. You could leave the top off and have a scene going on inside the Ghost in the table. But those are, yeah, every time I find one on Wayfair or something like that, they're very, very, very pricey.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple cool options with these in terms of what you could do. The one thing I would love to see, which I've considered multiple times, and at some point in my life I'll do this, is making one of those river tables with out of resin, and then getting like the micro machine stuff and putting them in there.
I've seen many a reel in TikTok of people making those. I've got a
Yeah.
buddy that makes those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Well,
I
and that's
haven't
not
just
all he does. He makes furniture, but
sure.
he's done a couple of those.
Yeah, I've got a few different things set aside that I could potentially do it with, but
Mm-hmm.
haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
Kevin,
So, yeah,
it's been fun.
it
Shortest
has been.
episode yet. I'm
Shortest
not upset
episode.
about that. I've got to pre-order some things here from Ami Ami at 9:00. So
Oh,
we're ending
nice.
just in time for me to get off and go pre-order a couple things. But
Cool.
I hope you have a great 4th. For all the American
Yeah, you as well.
American folks hanging out with us in chat, hope you have a fun and safe 4th of July. We will likely be back on the 15th, another Tuesday night. I have not checked with our family calendar on that, so I'm just saying that and hoping that that's true, that can happen. But I didn't check with you either, so we'll see.
If not, then we'll figure out another day.
Yeah, we'll figure out. We'll get some people in here that can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. This was potentially not going to happen, but yeah, they had to drop some news. It's been dry. We've been dying for a drip of water here. We've been in the desert.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll get something here soon within the next couple of weeks. We're talking probably a month
For
out.
sure.
In August, we should start to see a bunch of stuff hitting, which would be really cool.
It is almost here. I'm gonna pull down this banner. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Hope to see you on the 15th. Until then,
We're squadding out.
squadding out.
See y'all.